The Comedy Grinder. Streaming live worldwide from the First Church of Cannabis. Tonight, Austin Fry, Cale Forbes, Stephen Vincent Giles, Jerry Goebel, and your MC, Tenna McDonald. Tonight's episode.
How are you guys doing? Yeah, I am so excited to be here. I mean, if you can tell, I am super wet. Stifle yourself. It means I like you. Oh, Jesus. You guys want to play a fun game? It's called, is it my armpit or is it weed? It's technically both. I'm a human sponge. If this was a real game, though, I would want the ghost of Ronnie Van Zant to be the host, but he would have to start every show like, ooh, what's that smell? I love that joke. Oh, gosh. So I'm going to start off with something that's been kind of weighing on my mind since, like, high school, so I'm going to just kind of get started and come out and say it. When Taylor Swift was writing all those songs about boys, what was everyone expecting when she writes what she knows? All right? Look, I don't want to fuck Taylor Swift because she's going to write a song about me. All right, you should be so lucky, okay? But alas, you're not John Mayer fuckable, are you? No, you're not. And don't even act like that's a hypothetical situation that you're even worthy of, okay? I'm not worthy of Taylor Swift, so shush, all right? I'm sorry. She probably had like really well put together parents that were super loving and supportive. So it just happened to be her greatest tribulation was getting fucked by a racist and then not getting called back. So what is she going to do? What every girl has dreamed about doing, writing a song and putting it everywhere. And that's what she did. All right? Taylor Swift isn't going to be writing songs about the economic struggles affecting the middle class, all right? She's not John Mellencamp. I write what I know. You're not going to ever see me up here making jokes about politics. I don't like to ruin parties. Come at me. All right? What do I know? I know puppy dog jokes, Taylor Swift jokes, ass-eating jokes. Play to your strengths. I feel so much better. There's like a real load off my face. You're immature. That was easy humor. How dare you? Taylor Swift's parents. I feel bad that I just brought them in. They had nothing to do with this. But I bet they were like super nice, like a really nice couple. Like if I saw them out in the park and I'm just like so happy, synced up, really rubbing it in my face that I've been trying to hide in my elbow crease because I'm trying to smoke this bowl in a very public park bench. Aw. Are they deciding between pizza and Chinese? That's nice. Oh gosh. It makes me happy knowing that people in this world can be beneficial to one another, especially like in their 20s, because like it's like the ICP concert of age groups. It really is, because you don't feel like you should be there, but here you fucking are with a hard F. Because that's how fucking frustrating it is. You're just running around covered in Diet Faygo soda, trying to hold onto your friend's hands, but it's not going to matter because you're not going to talk to each other after this. You think I still talk to my Juggalo friends? No. All right? Because I realize I like respect music and I don't like to be peer pressured by boys anymore. All right? Now let's go back to that guy. You see him like in his 20s. He's kind of lost. Kind of smells like frat boy decisions, looks like Magic the Gathering decisions, which just means he smells like an unheating amount of cockiness and monster and looks like a 12-sided die. But what happens is he eventually meets like a responsible Topanga type who kind of reminds him of his mom. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not, okay? Because what the sensei is to the samurai is what the really cool girlfriend is to the adult man-child in his 20s, okay? He must honor her, buy her tampons, put up with acoustic covers of Limp Bizkit songs because he was raised right. And then before you know it, you have a living, breathing, functioning adult male who specializes in ass eating and friendship. That's the dream, all right? Despite whatever situation you're in, when you really care about something, you get to a point where like every now and then you kind of want them to sniff in your butt air. You know, a little lower intestinal poo air in their lungs. It says I care, okay? In my experience, let's just say they're sleeping, and I know what I'm doing. I'm filling up the comforter. I'm like, come on. And they're just looking there, and I'm like, turn into the blanket. Come on, just do it. Come on, put your sweet little face in there. Maybe get a little cozy. What's that, a little breeze? Oh, that's right, you're chilly now. Put your sweet little face in this dark abyss I've been brewing up. And then they do it. They put their sweet little fucking face in there, and I'm just like, ha ha! And they're just, why? So I take the whole comforter, drape it over them, Dutch oven style, and I'm like, I love you! Embrace me! Ah! This made me really sweaty. Oh gosh. I think when you really care about somebody, you look past all their flaws. You look past that shit I just did, and you look past any slut phases, all right? Because we've all done slutty phases, and let's admit, slutty's like super fun. Granted, it comes with a lot of responsibility and occasional paranoia. Because I can burn my mouth on a Hot Pocket one morning. I don't take things slow. I do not. Obviously. And I will be in the mirror later that day, and I'll be like, what is that? Is that a lesion? Son of a bitch! Oh, I've been cursed to damnation! Oh, what am I gonna tell my mom? She's gonna be like, I told you so. I'm like, blowjobs don't taste good with condoms. Oh. Oh, God. And that's the thing. You don't want your junk living in fear as if it's in hiding from the Nazis. You know what I mean? Just like, of course, if you had stayed and hidden, it wouldn't have been a issue in the first place. Now, would it? No, it wouldn't. All right, so here's the thing. Get smashed like a marshmallow in a s'more. Different meaning for BBC videos, by the way. All right, add some chocolate, add a cracker, you do the math, all right? You get smashed, and then you go home and you tell your friends like a normal hoochie, all right? That's what you do. And I understand. It can be weird exchanging sex stories, particularly though, like with married friends, because at least there's some mystery with single people. Like my best friend, she's not gonna meet the nookie I was getting once a month as if he was Haley's fucking Comet. It's fine. It's fine that he didn't call. It's fine. I'm fine. But when my best friend tells me her husband's nut face looks strangely similar to his sneezing face, it makes the pictures they took last autumn at the Peppermill factory in Connecticut a lot less funny and cute. It's more eye-opening, rude, and she's kind of a bitch. She's kind of a bitch. Sometimes I gotta stop her mid-story. I'm just like, hey, we all have to hang out later, okay? I saw your water birth. I don't need to picture you eating his ass. Like, I don't need that in my life. How dare I? I have no right. You have no one in this room has right to yuck somebody's yum, okay? It's not her fault. She's been with the same person for 5 years. In fact, that shit's amazing to me. Mostly because that idea has not occurred to me yet. I have a list of motherfuckers I gotta knock out before I die. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Oh, baby, wherever you're at, what's good? Oh my God, I would eat that man's ass 80 ways from Sunday. What does that mean? I'm gonna make him make that noise from Home Improvement, the Tim Allen noise, like, oh yeah. Thank you guys so much. All right, are you guys ready for your next comic? Yeah, we are. This next comic is a complete delight every time I run into him. And every time I ask him to do a Rick and Morty impression, he does it. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for the amazing Austin Fry?
Tana McDonald, everybody. Tana McDonald. She walks away from the stage. I had a weird day. The other day, I was walking down the street, just minding my own business, just walking down the street, and some guy yelled out, and he goes, "Hey, man, can you come help me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can come help you." And I walked over. I was like, "What's the problem, sir?" And he said, "Well, my name is Billy, and I have 10 apples. And this is Susie, and she has 7 apples. And I give Susie, like, 4 apples." I was like, "Oh, shit, they told me this was going to happen." Shouldn't have been drawing so much. I'm sorry, Mr. Bradley. I failed you. You know? That's why I'm always late for the train. You know, I never know when it reaches the station. You know, I can't get there on time. I like to do, this is kind of like a fun little thing here. Somebody shout out a topic, and I'll just rip a joke about it. It'll be real fun. I heard Brita filter. Let's go with Brita filter. It's a great suggestion. Thank you so much. I once took a piss in my friend's Brita filter, not as a prank, just to see if it tasted any better. You know, I'm not gonna use my own Brita filter. That's gross. You know, like I took it out and like it wouldn't even change it, like the filter, and I was like, dude, do you even change this thing? Like, you're a disgusting person. I will say though, if you drink your own piss and it comes from a Brita filter and you can still taste the alcohol content, you should probably slow it down just like a little bit, you know? Like, I was like, this kind of tastes like Bud Light. And then my friend was like, well, you should probably quit drinking soon. I was like, oh yeah? Remember that one time we're at that party and we ran out of booze? And I was like, everybody relax. I have this under control. All we need is a Brita filter and an open mind, and this party is completely saved. Samantha, no ice? All right. Samantha likes no ice, so that's how it goes. I used to work at a place called Witch Witch. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Witch Witch before. Maybe you have, but I worked at a Witch Witch for a while, and if you don't know what it is, it's a sandwich store where you walk in and there's a brown paper bag and it has all the ingredients on it. You just check off what you want, and you write your name at the bottom. And you give it to an assembly line of stone burnouts who don't have to talk to anybody. They can just like scantron their way through an order. And I was at the end one day and I was yelling out names. I got this bag and it was kind of scribbled and I was like, I can't really read this. And I tried my best. I was like, all right, I have an extra large buffalo chicken sandwich for Chunky. Is anyone Chunky? Your sandwich is here. And then a woman walked up who was enormous. And she said, it's pronounced Cindy. And like I had like she was grabbing the bag and my hand was on the bag too. She was tugging it and I was like, are you sure? It's for Chunky. It's not for Cindy. And she goes, I'm Chunky. And I was like, all right, well you said it, not me. Okay, I'm off the hook. It's gonna be okay. And my boss came like 2 minutes later and goes, hey, Fry, you called a woman Chunky about 2 minutes ago? And I was like, me? Why would I? Yeah, I did. I called her Chunky. Is there a problem? She goes, yeah. She wants to have you fired. She wants to sue the company because you called her fat. I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. That's a good reason. Am I fired? And he goes, no, we talked with her. We reached an agreement. We're just going to give her $50 worth of free sandwiches. So I said, well, then we're obviously not helping the real problem at hand here, right? Like the more I think about it, I think she knew exactly what she was doing the entire time. Like she walked in, she saw me, saw my glazed over eyes, and goes, that guy probably can't read cursive. It looks like Chunky's eating for free this week. Sorry, fuck. So my last name is Fry. I have seen that show, Futurama, in case you were wondering. Somebody came up to me the other day and goes, hey, Fry, like, are you related to the guy from Futurama? I was like, the cartoon character? No, I'm not related to that guy, you know, on that cartoon, Futurama. Like, there's a couple of differences, right? One, he has red hair. I have brown hair. Two, his friend's a robot. My friends are real people. Three, I'm not a cartoon. I think that's a really big one, you know? I think that's the biggest. Well, the biggest one is that he's on Comedy Central. I think that's the biggest one. That's probably the biggest one. So I have a little brother, and when I was growing up, he was kind of really introverted. And when I was 21 years old, my mom told me that my brother is on the spectrum for having autism, like very, like almost like none. And I was like, well, does he know this? And he go, no. The doctor said, it's so, like, you can't even tell. We'll just not tell him. So instead of knowing what he has, he's just going to have crippling social anxiety his whole life. And I was like, all right, yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds like a good option. Why not? Just roll the dice. It's the second kid. I mean, so, and I was like, well, like, why didn't you tell me? And he would go, well, because you're his older brother. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Older brothers are notoriously dicks. I don't know if you know this. They're leading causes of broken arms and, you know, things like that. So, like, I was a really kind of a dick to my brother growing up, you know, as an older brother is. And, like whenever we play with my friends, like, and he was there, we'd go, all right, we're all good guys, and you're a bad guy. And he'd be like, well, I want to be a good guy. And he goes, all right, well, now you're a good guy, and we're all bad guys. And we beat him up, you know, like you do. So imagine, like, if I knew he had autism. It's like, all right, we're all good guys, and you have autism. He goes, what? And we beat him up. And he's like, what? You know, it's a dick thing to do. I would probably tell him. There would be a moment where I would tell him. You know, it's just how it goes. It's what you do. Let's see here. Now I work at a sandwich store. I work at Subway because comedy is just booming. It's just going great. It's real fun. And I talk about wrestling at my work, and one of my coworkers said, you know, when you think about it, wrestling, like the WWE, it's like elaborate dancing, you know? Like they kind of move into the moves, you know? There's a lot of choreography that happens, you know? And it's like dancing. I'm like, yeah, dude, it is exactly like dancing. Remember that time in Swan Lake when one swan hit another swan with a steel chair to win the ultimate heavyweight swan dancing championship? Remember that? Remember in Greece when John Travolta threw another greaser through a table to win the ultimate Grease championship? Remember that? Remember in Chicago when Hulk Hogan said the N-word? Remember? How it's exactly like dancing? And she just stared at me and she goes, you know what, Austin? I wish I loved just anything as much as you love talking about wrestling. So, don't you have a 3-year-old daughter? I don't love wrestling unconditionally, okay? Like, I have to watch it, you know, but like I would rather not. I'd rather just, you know, watch the highlights. You know? It's kind of a weird scenario that you get yourself into every now and again. So, to get out of the sandwich game, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book about a little Native American boy who overcomes all these great obstacles. And it's called The Little Engine That Could. And I was talking to a friend before the show, and he goes, you can't say that on stage, dude. And I said, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Thank you. That's the nicest Indian joke you're going to hear. I like to do fun things. I like to freak out people who work at regular jobs. I work at a regular job, and it's weird. I have moments of weakness where I realize how pathetic I am. And it was earlier today. My boss said, hey, if you clean these dishes before 6:30, I'll let you leave at 6:30, but if you can't, you got to leave at 7. I was like, all right. And I cleaned all the dishes, and I was leaving at 6:30. And a coworker goes, hey, you cleaned all those dishes? I'm like, yeah, dude, I cleaned the shit out of those dishes. I'm a great dishwasher. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I'm a good dishwasher. My dad, he has a business, and I'm a good dishwasher. You know, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm the best at that job that doesn't give me health insurance. I'm totally great at it. You know? So, I know what it's like to have those shitty jobs, and so sometimes I try to spice up other people's shitty job experience. I'll go to a Home Depot and act really sad and ask how much rope costs. Just walk up to the guy and be like, hey man, how's it going? You know, it's going all right. I was wondering how much this would could cost. And then the guy went, you're 5'10", 200 pounds, right? You're gonna need 10 feet of this kind of rope. You're gonna reinforce your rafters. You know, that doesn't we got a guy in the back who does hammers and stuff. He can help you with that. I'm like, are you trying to help me kill myself? And he's like, customer's always right, man. I don't know what to tell you. Gotta make a sale, you know. We got a fitting room in the back if you want to go try some on. We got all kinds of colors and flavors. Another thing I like to do, I like to go up to young couples who have a baby, and I like to pretend I'm a time traveler, and I go, Mom, Dad, it's me, remember? And they go, what? I'm like, yeah, you remember? It's your boy. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I'll see you later, and I'll run off somewhere. And they're like, I'll tell them a piece of information. I'm like, don't kick any beehives. And they go, what? And then I run off. And then later on, I look at them across the store, and they're looking at their kid, is that really our fucking kid? Is that what he's gonna look like? And maybe when he gets older, he starts having brown hair and a bigger chin. He's like, oh fuck, that is that guy. Oh no. Are there any do we live near beehives? Do we we gotta move. We gotta get out of here. So I like looking on the internet. I like looking at porn, and I think this is the right people to talk to. I was looking at porn the other day with my laptop because that's how I like to do it, and I put my laptop on my chest like so I don't have to see, me tugging my own dick. It's kind of a sad thing sometimes, It's like, this is the third time today. Like, I don't want to see this for a third time today. I like this song, Cheeseburger in Paradise, but I don't want to hear it 3 times in a row. So I was using my laptop to masturbate, and I had it in full screen, and then the battery died, and the screen went black, and I ended up staring into my own eyes. Like, dick in hand, like, I don't know. Have anyone else like caught themselves masturbating? Where like you're like on like your third pump, like mid pump, like oh fuck, oh that's me, oh jeez, oh. I've seen my 51-year-old dad fuck his 30-year-old girlfriend, and I think about that less than I do when I saw like my 5 chins like in the black screen, like I was on my bed, and I was like oh Jesus, like there's no like what do? You go through all these emotions, anger, sadness, bargaining, the whole list, just end up on acceptance, If you don't get the charger plugged in, you're gonna, walk along that razor's edge, you're gonna get cut, all right? This is what happens. This is what happens when you do that kind of thing. I like looking at other stuff on the internet. I was looking at stories, and there was one story where the Mars rover? Yeah. Thank you. The Curiosity robot. Somebody programmed it to play Happy Birthday to himself on the 1-year anniversary it landed on Mars. It's kind of sad when you think about it, Little robot all by himself, like on like a red planet, and it's dark out, and it hits midnight, and then confetti shoots out the top of his head, and like plays a MIDI track of Happy Birthday to himself, Like some guy was like fixing the tires and was like, all right, forget my birthday, will they? Like I'll make sure I'm not the loneliest man on this planet. And then some guy's like, it's not going to be on Earth. It's going to be on Mars, stupid. And he goes, shut up, Rick. That's not the point. He goes back to tweaking with it. All I know is that whoever had to go get that confetti from Party City is probably the saddest and loneliest trip to Party City I can imagine. Where he walks in and he goes, hey, I need enough confetti for one person. It's not for me. It's for my robot. So it's not weird, right? He's like, yes, sir. It's in the back with the rope. I like to have I want to have jokes and I want to have thoughts that are like internal, and I have those thoughts sometimes, like those dark, like what does it all mean? Like, is there an afterlife? Like, what is the purpose of all of this? And I'm trying to write a joke about this. And I also, the other day, had bought a fart app on my iPhone, and I went to a Taco Bell drive-thru and I learned that it can play it through the speakers. And me and my friend, I haven't laughed that hard, I think, in ages. We're like, like when you laugh so hard, like before you do something, like you're like, this is a great idea, isn't it? Like you can't contain it. You have to like compose, like get ready, and then you fart in front of the guy's face. It's all fun and games until someone spits in your burrito. Just for farting on the thing. I hate child prodigies. I don't like them. I'm sick of them. I have to get rid of them, right? I was watching, I watch America's Got Talent sometimes, and there's a 6-year-old girl who can sing, and she gets through, and a guy who's a 34-year-old juggler who lives on the street doesn't get through. I'm like, let the guy who juggles through, right? He doesn't get to go back to mom and dad and eat fruit snacks. He has to go suck a dick to buy more juggling balls, right? This kid's 6. She's gonna peak when she's 10. She's gonna go back to school. Remember Jake Lloyd? Remember what happened to him? The guy who played Anakin Skywalker, and everyone hated him because he played Anakin Skywalker. It's gonna happen again, right? I'm so mad about this. I was sitting on my couch, and this girl's like, "My name is Madison, and I love to sing." And I went, "Fuck you, Madison! Why are you so special? I don't know. I love to sing. You mean your dad loves money? Is that the reason why you love to sing? It's because you have to. You have to." Don't make it obvious. All right, good shit. I will kind of end on this. I got robbed at gunpoint a little while ago. And when it happened, he asked me for my ID and for my credit card and like all my money I had, and I gave him like all the stuff that I had, and I had like my debit card, and he's like, "Hey, how much is on that card?" And I was like, "I don't know, dude. I don't really check that much." And he's like, "Well, how much do you think it is on? How much do you think is on it?" And I was like, "I'm not smart, but I think $2,000." Which is not what you're supposed to say to a guy who wants to rob you, right? Like in the back of my mind, I'm like, how much money should I say that like he thinks he should like keep my life? But like, you know, if it's like I have $0, like he's like, all right, well then you don't matter, and bang. Or it's like I have $10,000. It's like, oh fuck you, white boy, and then bang, like right? Like I want to know like, and I just settled on $2,000. I guess that's what I think how much my life is worth, $2,000. And I'm a stand-up comic who works at a sandwich store. I do not have $2,000 in the bank. So he gets in the back of my car, and now I'm driving Miss Daisy, this guy, to an ATM with a gun to the back of my head. And I get to the ATM, and I'm like, before we get in there, I'm like, hey man, I know I said $2,000 before, but like it's gonna be probably not that much. And he's like, just get it, like just try $1,500. And I was like, that also seems excessive, but let's try it. How about that? And the bank was like, you can only take out $600 at a time. And I was like, let's try 600, right, sir? And he goes, you got it. And I fucking went, and I got to the thing. I tried 600, and that didn't work. And then I tried 500, and then I tried 400, and 300 finally worked. I was like, that's not $2,000, but it's something, right, for your efforts. So I gave it to him, and I was about to drive away, and he goes, hey, stop, try 50. I was like, really, dude? You're gonna nickel and dime me here, like at this time? And he's like, yeah, try 50. I was like, all right. And I took out 50, and I ended up overdrafting my account. I got robbed at gunpoint, and I got an overdraft charge from the bank for like driving a guy around. And so we drive away, and we drive for a bit, and then we get to where he wants to go, and we get out, and my child locks are broken. And I have to explain to him that my child locks are broken. So I have to get out of my car and open, like chauffeur this guy, like, here you go, sir, please watch your step. Like, if he dropped his gun, I would have picked it up and polished it off, and it's like, here you are, sir. Like, oof. You have a busy night ahead of you, probably. I want to keep that, and then you know, like it was a whole big situation. I went to talk to the police officers about it, and I was with a friend of mine, and he asked us, it's like, would you describe the guy, and he was like, oh well, he's a stereotypical robber kind of guy, you know, like he, you know, was like had like a hoodie and stuff, and he's like, well, like how tall was he? Like I don't know, like 6 feet. It's like he was black or white, and we're like, he was black, and then he said, well, how black was he? And the police officer was black, and I looked at my friend. I'm like, are we getting a free pass right now to like just kind of say whatever we want? My friend went, well, he wasn't exactly Wesley Snipes, but he wasn't exactly Blake Griffin. He was like in the middle, like the tweezer thing. And the cop didn't think that was funny. So, yeesh, you know. But hey, I'm alive now. I'm good. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. So. Let's see here. I will actually end on this. I went to my mom's wedding a little while ago, and it's weird because I've never been to my mom's wedding before. You know, it's a new experience for most of us, and I was like, hey, I had to give a speech, right? I had to give a speech at my mom's wedding. I was like, oh shit, I gotta give a speech at my mom's wedding, and then like I went up there, and this is the only thing I've done in regards to like public speaking is stand up. And so I went up there and I was like, hey, how about a big hand and a round of applause for my mom, everybody, right? Hey, look at her. Trying to like introduce her. And I was like, trying to tell a joke. I'm like, what's the deal with my mom getting married, right, everybody? What's wrong with my old dad, huh? What's up with that? And I realized I was bombing at my mom's wedding. I was like, oh shit, I'm bombing. Nobody's laughing at this. And I was like, I gotta bring out my best joke. So when I masturbate, I use a laptop and I put it on my chest. You guys are real fun. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
That was Austin Fry. His life is magically dark. It's okay. Bye, buddy. I'm rooting for you. All right, let's get ready for our next performer. Up next, we've been part of a 2-person show because no one else showed up to the open mic. Round of applause for Kale Forbes.
Thank you, Tenna. Give another hand for her, everybody. She's working hard. Didn't remember that we knew each other at the beginning of this night, but that's neither here nor there. I got a haircut. I'm still the same person, same guy. Don't worry about that. All right, what are you guys doing? You guys still saying the Pledge of Allegiance every morning? Anybody? Anybody keep up with that old bag? Anybody out there? No? Me neither. Don't worry about it. I don't know why we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning in school, though. Like, what's going to happen if we don't say it? You take a day off, is a class full of third graders just going to go AWOL? It's like, we didn't have to say it today, guys. I guess we're Canadian now. Let's do it. A. I don't know how you go about becoming Canadian that fast. You should just say A and do something with syrup. Maybe kindness. Love for your fellow man. Canadian shit like that, you know. My biggest part of the Pledge of Allegiance, the only problem I really have with it, no Schoolhouse Rock song. How do we drop the ball? Like, it's got legs. I pledge allegiance to the flag, Logan, United States of America. It's got legs, guys. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't sound great with no music in the background, but neither does the Declaration of Independence. But they jazzed up the preamble, and it sounds pretty goddamn good. I didn't mean to say goddamn in a church, but it's not really that kind of church, so I'm not worried about it. The thing about the Pledge of Allegiance, though, people are upset that under God is in the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, it's not a big deal, which I didn't even know people remembered that was in the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, I remember the first line, and then I just faded out for like class, and you know, when everybody's standing up, you don't actually have to say it. Pretty much everybody else is taking up for you, right? But the thing is, under God was added to the Pledge of Allegiance in 1954. The Pledge of Allegiance was written like 1896. So it wasn't even in there the whole time. And what's funny about that? Not a goddamn thing. But here's something that's been in the Pledge of Allegiance the entire time that it has existed. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. America, one nation, indivisible. And this is written maybe, I don't know if anybody's a history buff in here, maybe 30 years after the Civil War happened. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Civil War. And what happened, it was when we, as one nation, were divisible. And it was kind of a big deal. Like, people knew about that shit. I don't know how we forgot so quickly. So I don't care if we take under God or we leave it in. I don't care. But I want the Pledge of Allegiance to go like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, except for that one time, with liberty and justice for all. Support the troops. We can add whatever on the end. We can freestyle it at the end. It doesn't matter, guys. We can do whatever we want. America, fuck it. I would say, as a people, I think we need to change our lifestyles. We're going in a dangerous path. I feel like we need to start wearing condoms, guys. We all make mistakes. There are all nights. But we need to try as a people. There's so many goddamn people, guys, and it's so hard to do anything now. It's just shitloads of people. And I know what the argument is. Everybody argues the same argument against condoms. I don't feel anything when I wear condoms. Yeah, when I put on a condom, I don't feel anything. It's like, yeah, guys, I don't feel anything when I wear condoms either. Like regret or like being nervous for like 1 to 3 weeks. You know, none of that. It's just muted vagina. That's all it is the whole time. And then I come and I go to bed. That's how it is. And there's no babies. I'm gonna do my pot jokes. I like my pot jokes. I've done them before, but as the Church of Cannabis, what are you gonna do? You gotta be careful when you smoke weed. If you don't practice, like I do. You practice, you don't have to worry about it. You do whatever you want. You're an adult, make your own decisions. But if you don't smoke weed a lot, certain things you shouldn't do when you're high, like drive a car. You can forget where you're going, and that's not good for anybody. It's very dangerous to be in a car with no predetermined destination. So you end up on a road trip on accident. It's fucked up when you're driving your car and you realize you don't know where you're going, and you got to try to pull together context clues for like where you might be on your way to, and you're looking in your seat. It's like I got those fuzzy dice. Those are always cool. Outcast CD. It's a good CD. Doesn't help me in this situation. And then you look down at your shirt and you realize you're on your way to work. You're like, all right, time to go make that weed money, I guess. Let's do it. Doesn't buy itself. I don't know. I like pot. Pot's very accepted now. Like a lot of people smoke pot. It's in like TV shows all the time. You don't have to worry about it. People are very pro pot. But I don't like people who are just starting to smoke pot because they're annoying. People who just find pot, very annoying. They're always trying to tell you how good pot is, which we already know. Like everybody who smokes pot knows how pot works. It's amazing. That's why we do it. You don't have to, like, but I find myself in conversations behind dumpsters with guys from time to time. And they're just in my face. Like, you know, it's a medicine in like 7 states and it's good for you. And I just started smoking 2 years ago, but I'm never gonna stop doing this. This is the greatest thing. It calms you down, helps people with cancer eat, and it's great. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, dude, can I get my weed back? Like, why are you being a dick about this right now? Puff, puff, pass, dude. Stop talking. Call me when you've got some years under your belt. I don't like anti-pot ads. Anti-pot ads are weird now because like they know it's so popular that there's nothing they can do. They just do weird avant-garde shit and have fun with it. It's like, yeah, let's make it super cool to watch when you're high and maybe people won't think it's as cool. Like reverse psychology, that shit. We'll figure out how to do something. I think we should make because teenager, like little kids shouldn't smoke pot. Like you should have a job at least. I'm gonna go that far. I'm gonna take a hard stance and say you should have a job if you're getting high. Unless you're an adult. Again, do whatever you want. I'm 22. Fucking if you're 30, keep doing what you're doing. Don't remember what I was talking about. But now I do. No, I don't. We're working back around on it. That's what happens when you talk about pot. And you haven't smoked pot long enough. You ever, real stoners in the room, you ever feel like if you don't smoke weed, your memory gets worse? Like somehow you fucked up your brain and now you can't just make it work right when you're not? No? Just me? All right, I'm gonna die soon. It's fine, don't worry about it, guys. I'm gonna get if I die though, can I get like on the wall in the church? Would that be cool? Can I get a mural with like a red bandana tied the front way like Tupac? And I'm just like down in a b-boy stance. That'd be cool for me. I don't know if you guys want to do that. Put back some money and I'll write a note in case I die. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, back to whatever the fuck I was talking about. Anti-pot ads. You guys know about those. We've just talked about it a minute ago. I think we need real-life anti-pot ads, like problems that you really get smoking weed on the day-to-day, and maybe people would learn something from it. Like my first idea for a commercial is just a kid has a $20 bill, he goes and buys a $20 bag of weed, and then the girl he likes calls him. She's like, hey, me and all my hot friends are going to your favorite concert. Tickets are only $10. Do you want to come? And he's just sitting there with a bag of weed like, fuck. I could have got less. It was an option. I didn't take it. I was a bad judge. And it's over. Then there's another commercial. It's 4 guys, 4 teenagers, stoned in a car, and they stop at a gas station. One of them's got the munchies. He goes in the gas station, buys a whole bunch of shitty food, spends all his money, gets back in the car, right? Then they pull off, and they're driving for about a block, and then the driver's like, you know what, I think I want to go to Steak and Shake. And then they pull into Steak and Shake, and the guy's like, fuck. These Doritos were expensive. These are not grocery store prices. That's how they get you. Convenience. Let's say we need a 15-minute long commercial in the middle of cartoons, and it's just a guy walking around his apartment looking for a lighter, and it's in his hand the whole fucking time, and he's just Maybe these kids would think twice before lighting up. Or maybe they wouldn't. They can do whatever they fuck. Honestly, I don't care about kids. They can do whatever the fuck they want. If I have a problem with them, I'll just like punch them in the forehead. That'd be a cool rule. You ever think about that? Like if you're 15 to 18, you can just get punched in the forehead by somebody older than you. You'd fucking act right. I know that. Teach these goddamn kids some manners. That's what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing with my life. These are the battles I fight on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Just watching me live my dreams. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Makes it all worth it. And the internet. The internet is there all the time, ever present, making me afraid to masturbate with my computer open because there's a little camera at the top. And you never know who's watching. Or is it that one over there? Internet. Now who's watching who masturbate? Internet. I saw the way you were looking at me. That cold, dark lens on a pole. This is what comedy looks like. I don't know if you guys noticed. All right, this is enough. This is enough of this silly stuff. I'm tired of the silliness. We're going to get into some real goddamn issues. I was watching TV the other day, which is how every real goddamn issue starts. You watch TV and you see something that pisses you off. What did I see? Some of you might be, Kale, is it politics? Is it Trump? Is that what's got you riled up, Kale? No. Frisky cat food has a goddamn commercial. It's for Frisky combination, or concoctions. The Frisky concoctions, they come in a little thing. And at the end of the commercial, it says, made by cats, for cats. What the fuck does that even... What do you stand for, Frisky cats? Does your ad campaign suck that bad you can just throw all of the validity away from anything you will ever say? Made by cats, for cats, balderdash, Frisky cats. Have you ever had a cat or like seen one? Tried to get it to do anything? It's impossible. Like there could be a cat right there and I'd be like, come here, kitty. I'm right here, kitty. No? All right, fine. And you want to get that to make cat food and operate small to medium-sized machinery? No, it's not going to happen. And the same made by cats, for cats. And that's not what they actually like mean in that commercial. Cats are fucking, they got aprons on and shit and they're mixing. No, what they mean is the cats are somehow choosing the products that are placed into the cat food, which is also not true, because why the fuck would anybody waste time doing that? Do you honestly think cat food companies are getting a bunch of cats and then getting a bunch of guys, presumably in lab coats? I don't know why I think they wear lab coats, because that's how I see it in cat commercials. They're always wearing lab coats when they give cats food. I don't know why. But that's not really the goddamn point of this. Frisky Cats does not have a room in their headquarters where there's just 4 guys in lab coats holding bags of like chicken and liver, and there's just a bunch of cats running around getting a pick of whatever they want, and there's just a guy in the back with a clipboard like, holy shit, chicken and cheese, who would have thought? Frisky Cats, we're making it. Made by cats. I bet Blue Buffalo is pissed. You guys know Blue Buffalo commercials? They have like the 3 boards, and they're like, which one of these looks best to you? And one of them's got like dog shit, and it's like gross, hard plastic, and then one's like 100% chicken and broth and real rice, and they flip it around and it's Blue Buffalo, and then they go to like the dog shit and plastic one. It's Frisky Cat's concoctions the whole time. And then Frisky Cats is like, well, no, our shit's made by cats. They chose the plastic. Don't give me that shit, Blue Buffalo. By cats, for cats. You can get your shit together when you get cats to make your food. You still got people getting chicken broth? Idiots. You know the only food I've ever seen a cat choose? Dead bird. It's the only one. One time a rabbit, but that was a badass cat. And it had the Had the hunger of a champion. It wanted a fucking rabbit. You put a dead rabbit in a can, your cat would go apeshit. It would be so happy that you got Kale's frisky combinations. I'm coming in the cat food game, y'all. It's real. Dead birds and dead rabbits. That's gonna be the first two. First two. Then we'll go like rice and cheese or something. I hear that's good from the Frisky Cats commercial. Something I said in there was the end of that joke. I don't know where it went, but it was, I'm sure it was said at some point, whichever. It's a build your own joke. You can put whatever part you want at the end, however it works best for you. We're winding down. I saw a guy running down Mass Avenue with scissors the other day, and I feel like a pussy because I didn't say anything. I'm really upset with myself because how many chances in life do you get to look at somebody running down the street with a pair of scissors and go, hey man, didn't your mom ever teach you not to run with scissors? Like three in your life, and I missed one. I'm gonna be 66%. That's the best I can ever do at yelling that phrase at somebody. But you have to be careful yelling at people you don't know who are running with scissors, because you don't want to fuck with somebody with such obvious disregard for their own safety. Like that guy just did something fucked up. That guy's running with that pair of scissors because he just killed another guy. They yelled, didn't your mom ever teach you not to run with scissors at him? He's a loose cannon ready to blow at any time. I don't live in a great neighborhood now, but I live in a better neighborhood than I used to. I used to live in like Section 8 housing, 34th and Lafayette Road. You could see Rick's Cabaret which is a strip club, internet, if you know. And 34th and Lafayette is a place you lock your car when you leave it. I guess that's what I can describe if you've never been there and you're in like California or some shit. I would make this joke applicable to everybody on the internet, but I just don't have that goddamn kind of time. So I used to live in this bad neighborhood, and it's fine. I was like one of the only 3 white people. It was me, my white roommate, and another guy that nobody liked, so that's how I knew we were safe. Because everybody hated the other white guy. We were the cool white guys, which if you're the cool white guys, safest place you can be in an all black and Hispanic neighborhood. Like they're gonna know you're gone if you're not there for a while. There's only 3. It's like there's the one that I hate. There's the fat one. Where's the one with the goatee? He's not been here for a minute. That's me. The one with the goatee. I had a mustache at the time, but that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, living in this neighborhood wasn't bad. Not very many bad things. We never got robbed, which is cool. Got yelled at a couple times, but that's fine. Makes you stronger. The only thing that really happened that sucked living at this location is we had 2 neighbors, couple, across the balcony from us. Their names were Edmund and April. Now, Edmund and April were a deaf couple that, like, got money from the government, so that's how they live in this neighborhood. And they were just a normal couple, guys. It didn't really matter that they were deaf, except that they would fight, and when they fought, it would start out innocent, right? Like how you think deaf people would fight. It's all hand stuff, right? So they're doing the hand stuff, but then they would get mad at each other, and it would get more mad. And when you're deaf, apparently you just start going wider with your hand movements, and that's how you get louder. But it gets to a point where your arms can't go out any farther. You can't make anything bigger. So now they just start yelling guttural shit at each other, like 2 feet away from each other inside their house, and I'm 3 apartments down in my room, and I can just hear through the wall just, and it's fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon, trying to take a nap, and I'm trying to remedy the situation, but I have no idea what to do. Can't go over and knock on the door. They're not gonna fucking know I'm there. So now I'm just on my patio, just like doing this. Hopefully I catch an eye of somebody, or they resolve whatever they're fucking fighting about. It was a fun time. As comedy's really fun, and you should try it if you want to. If you don't say you can't do it, because if you've seen this set, you can fucking do comedy. It's pretty easy. I don't know if you guys, you just say shit, and people laugh. Sometimes they don't laugh. You just keep doing it. Just keep saying shit, and that's how you get through a joke. until you have just enough time for your closer. So I do comedy in places a lot worse than this, guys. I do real shitty bars where there are drunk old people on Monday nights at like 12 o'clock in the morning, which I don't know how they have any business there. But you're trying to do your set, you're trying to work on your material for a crowd full of comics and nobody's enjoying it. And then this old guy comes up and he's like, ah! And he just starts yelling shit at you. And you gotta tell him to shut the fuck up, to assert your dominance in the room and be a man, so he'll walk away. There is no other job you can have where that is acceptable. To tell an old guy to shut the fuck up, you can't do that at your job. You get fired. Not allowed to do that. Unless you're like night shift nurse in an Alzheimer's unit, then you could probably get away with it. I could see that scenario happening, like you're just hanging out in the hallway. And a guy comes out of his room with his walker and he's like, when are we getting dinner? And like, we had dinner 20 minutes ago, Frank, shut the fuck up and get back in your room. And then he's like, ah, and everybody laughs and it's all fun and games. That's my time, everybody. I've been Cale Forbes. You've all been amazing.
Cale Forbes, everybody. Most Irish songs I've ever seen. You guys having a good time? Well, stay tuned because we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Comedy Grinder. I am Tina, I'm your MC, and yes, I do look like a librarian that fights crime, but only super supernatural situations. I also kind of look like the tattoo girl, like that works at the shop and answers the phones, but she doesn't answer the phone correctly, and she's never clean. She's just kind of always texting. Yeah. You guys having a great time? Yeah. All right. Up next, we have a very lovely performer. First time I saw him, he had 12-sided die on his shirt, and I knew I was safe. Round of applause for Stephen Giles.
There we go.
Hello. Hello, First Church of Cannabis. Anybody there? Yeah, how you feeling? Yeah? Somebody told me that this place wasn't like a real church. It's not like a real religion. If only they were here, you know? You got one person standing up in front talking. They're the only ones who care. Everybody else is sitting in the back trying to stay awake. That's as religious as it gets, honestly. That is as religious as it gets. I'm Catholic. You know, the word Catholic means universal. And I see a lot of similarities here between my religion and this place, you know? We have something called a high mass. But the strange thing is, though, we burn way more incense than you guys. That is really strange. That's odd. But there's some similarities. Have you ever thought about taking some pointers from the Catholic Church, like having a bong water sprinkling rite, you know? Although baptisms would be pretty dank. It'd be dank baptism. I guess for penance, you could do like, say, 3 Hail Mary Janes. That would work, right? Is this too punny? Is this getting bad? This is awful, right? Well, I mean, the Catholic Church isn't the only religion that you guys have some things in common with. Judaism, right? This place, it's a lot like the last day of the menorah lighting ceremony, of lighting the candles. Everybody's waiting around to fire up the 8th. Let's take a minute. That joke doesn't work in Denmark because they use grams. Just, I like it. But I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but this is, I mean, yeah, true. Jesus ran around with a lot of kind buds, and he even cured a few. But the thing is, it's true. It's a record. They've recorded it in history. The apostles never got high with Jesus. Didn't happen. It's documented. It's in the Acts of the Apostles. St. Stephen was the first Christian to be stoned. So there you go. Thus endeth the lesson on whether this is a real church or not. You guys are all pretty laid back, right? I love how the people in here are all nice, relaxed, you know, and then everybody like standing outside the door, their eyeballs are darting around like, calm down, dude. I feel like that there are only 2 kinds, you know what I mean, of people who partake. And you either mellow out or you start bouncing off the walls like the police are after you for some reason. You're all worked up about things. I get worked up too, you know? I mean, we live in a weird world, man. We live in a world where people send their pets to professional teachers but think that they can homeschool a human being. We live in a world where there are chicken and waffle flavored potato chips. Commercials tell us that Diet Dr. Pepper tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper. Every box of popcorn says contains 100% whole grain. We live in a world where there are directions on shampoo bottles. We live in a world where banks charge you a fee for not having money in your account. We live in a world where the most successful coffee chain sells French pastries and Latin American coffees, but their menu is in Italian. We live in a world, why is hypochondria the one thing that hypochondriacs never claim to have? We live in a world where you need job experience from the kind of job that you're trying to get in the first place. We live in a world where it's safer to fly than it is to drive. Corporations are people. Morticians have business cards. There are six different flavors of Pepto-Bismol. You can buy a Halloween-themed Cadbury egg at a Thanksgiving Day sale while Christmas carols play in the background. So yeah, I'm a little worked up. Thanks. The thing is, I'm a drinker, so I don't know how to deal with it. It just makes me more angry. I don't. I'm a mess. I admit it. I know I'm a mess. You know, my house is a mess, but I like to think one man's messy house, well, that's another man's burglar alarm. I hear those empty cans hit that kitchen floor. I grab my broken futon leg and investigate. Somebody told me my problems, I don't take the initiative. I'll be the last to admit that. You guys are quick. That's good. You guys are on point. I do hate this time of year, though. You know what I mean? It's just the grass is getting out of control. I miss the winter already. My front lawn looks like somebody's been playing Jumanji in my house. My neighbor's coming by, hey, when you gonna mow that lawn? Oh, this? This isn't a lawn. No, this is a sustainable farm. I'm letting this go to seed. I'm gonna harvest it and bake bread with it. I'm gonna sell the bread at a bake sale and use the proceeds to buy a great big neon sign to put in my front yard that says, mind your own goddamn business! And you'll mow that lawn. Somebody suggested self-help books. You know they have self-help books on getting motivated, right? If you need the book, you're never gonna read the book! I saw online a self-help book for money management. $58! The first page should be, return this book and get your money back. That's what self-help books. I'm trying to do something, though. I joined a gym, super fancy, high-tech gym. You know what I mean? But it's not high-tech. All those exercise machines, they're still manually operated. I thought we were in the 21st century, man. But everybody in that place, they're all in like super good shape. What are they doing at the gym? They don't need to be at the gym. They're already there. They're wearing matching like spandex. The shoes match the pants, match the top, match the hair ties. It's all matching colors. And I'm wearing a raggedy sweatpants and a pit-stained t-shirt. Feel like a villain in a superhero comic book. Everybody thinks I'm a homeless person trying to steal a shower. You know. I asked a friend, do I need to bring anything? She's like, oh no, they have complimentary towel service. Yeah. Complimentary towel. It's more like a napkin for a guy my size. Like a little thing that goes over my lap. It wasn't fitting around my body is what I'm saying. I'm in the locker room. I'm embarrassed to be naked around guys. You know, I don't know what it is. I just, well, I do. I mean, there's a reason they serve cocktail weenies on cocktail plates and not on platters. They're the same size. They just look really different on a platter is what I'm trying to say. So I'm in there. I grabbed 2 or 3 of those towels. This is a true story. And I'm tying corners together like somebody trying to escape out the window of an insane asylum just to wrap something that'll fit around my body. And then there's the scale, you know, and so I walk right past that thing, right past it. It's going to tell me what I already know. What I already know. Anybody else ever been in the same room as a naked 6.5-foot tall pre-op transsexual that wants to tell you his life story? Is that just me? Just me? Oh, okay, well. This is really interesting. You know, I mean, God bless him. Bless her. I can't imagine how hard it must be for him, but he's telling me, and he's taking estrogen supplements because his goal, he just wants to, you know, fit in an A cup. I can't help it. My eyeballs, you know, he's right there, you know, and I look and, I mean, this gal was blessed. It was like a blue ribbon eggplant from the county fair. It was like a summer sausage, you know what I mean? Like a $5 foot long. I don't know why I'm using things I like to put in my mouth to describe it. Is that a Freudian slip or something? I need to rewrite this joke. Where was I? Anyway, you know, I mean, I admit that the Irishman in me, I was a little intimidated, you know. I felt a little inadequate, but I walked away confident because I knew no matter how much I wish I had her penis, I knew she wanted my tits even more. So, I'm the winner. I won that one. Thanks. Oh my gosh. gosh, you guys. This is good. I'm feeling really good. I had a dark winter. It's nice to be back, you know. Although, you know, it's what, April, May. What is this? It's rainy. I always get depressed around this time. What is it, 9:30? No, it's all right. It's all right. Hey, speaking of getting better, get better care of yourself, I made a New Year's resolution, and I've kept it thus far. My resolution was to keep the suicide rate down by 1. So far, so good. Valentine's Day is the big hump. Once you get past that, it's all downhill. You know what I mean? It's easy peasy. Some people worry about me, like, talking about suicide and stuff. I'm never gonna like hang myself or anything, you know. You see, I have this crippling fear of heights. I could never do that. It's scary. Look, I'm gonna get serious with you guys for a second. I'm not trying to mock anyone who's lost a loved one to suicide or struggled with it themselves, but 2 winters ago, I had a pretty bad bout, and I had to call the suicide hotline. And the first thing they said to me when I called the number was, "Do you have a plan?" And I'm thinking, like, an insurance plan? Or no, do you have a plan, like how you're gonna do it? And it's like, no, I didn't. I mean, it's not like I put that on my little to-do list in the morning, you know, mostly because I like the satisfaction of crossing things off after I complete them. Although in hindsight, I guess I could write my list on my arm, 2 birds, 1 stone. Oh man, it got real dark, huh? Well, this is a true story, and a friend of mine took me to the hospital, went to the emergency room. I go up to the front desk, and the first thing they ask me when I get there, "Do you have a plan?" I'm like, "Again? Do I have a plan?" "No, I don't, but you know, now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking about plans. What do you suggest? What's on the menu?" They had me sit there in the room, and here's a tip. If you had to go to the emergency room and you want to be seen right away, tell somebody that you're suicidal, because that's the fast track. You get to go to the front of the line. They leave everybody else behind. There's people there with bandages made out of tube socks and duct tape, and I get to go first. I felt so guilty, you know. I get it. I mean, software problem's more serious than a hardware problem, but that little butt tum was like, "That's when you laugh at my joke." Comedy, so stupid. Yeah, so like I'm there, and I feel so bad because I get to go before anybody. The nurse comes out, "Mr. Giles." My last name's pronounced Giles, by the way, and I told her it was Giles, so she mispronounced my name. So now I don't even feel loved. I feel guilty because I'm leaving the wounded behind. I don't feel loved. I'm thinking about ending my life. And what do? "Sir, would you please step on the scale?" You son of a bitch. They just try to crush what's left of my ego. I went in there with broken pieces already. They put me in a room. I'm seen over a 5-hour period by staff, doctors, psych people, social workers. The first thing they all ask me, "Do you have a plan? Or do you have a plan?" It's like, by this time, I have reasons. I don't just have a plan. I have a PowerPoint presentation. Do I have a plan? They leave me in there, and I'm pacing around this room. 5 hours. I'm waiting to hear, like, "Can I go home? What are you going to do with me? You're going to lock me up, put me in a room?" I don't know what's going on, and I'm pacing around, and I'm getting furious because these people, they don't know how to deal with somebody like me. I have real issues. You know, I have got emotional problems in this place, and they're not going to let me go home or tell me I'm going to stay here. They need to get their act together. I'm starting to get fed up because my time is valuable, okay? My life is worth a lot more than... Holy shit. They knew what they were doing. They took one look at me and said, "That guy's Irish. Fire him up." Fire him up. If you're Irish, any problem you have can be cured with rage, butter, or whiskey. Anything. I'd start with the butter. Although one can lead to another, I suppose. Look, the truth is, I love life these days, and I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I still have 2 more Star Wars movies to see. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a big nerd, man. I love that stuff. Have you heard of Gen Con? Gen Con is the world's largest Dungeons and Dragons gaming convention, and it takes place in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I love it. The same week as Gen Con, they have a biker rally. Motorcycles. Right across the street. It's true. So you got all the nerds right here, and all the tough guys right here. So for 1 week, Indianapolis is a high school cafeteria. The only common denominator are white people in uncomfortable leather outfits. Outlaws. Is that an anime? If someone has an Outlaws jacket on, don't ask them if they're in an anime. It's not a good idea. I love Gen Con, but I can never afford to do all the cool stuff. You know, they have a lot of cool stuff, but it's expensive. You know, and I spend my money on other things like, shampoo and deodorant. Now, if you've been to Gen Con and you've seen these troglodytes crawling out of their mother's basement like a bunch of overweight vampires wearing novelty t-shirts, then you'll know there are people at this place who've been met with the same choice and took the path less traveled by. Underarm deodorant. That's cute, right? Underarm. I weigh 1/8 of a ton. See where I'm going with this? I'm packing my emotional baggage with cinnamon rolls. This is no longer merely underarm deodorant. It's going everywhere. It's going underneath these hairy teacups. It's going in this crawl space, whatever this is. It goes around. It's little. I put that stuff on like I'm caulking windows for the winter. Just. Don't forget the back door. Don't forget the back door. Woo! I have a hard time making my mind up on like which deodorant to get at the store. There's just too many kinds, you know. Old Spice has run out of adjectives. They're using nouns. Bear glove, Matterhorn, Belize. If you've been to Belize, Belize smells like 1,000,000 unwashed armpits. If you haven't been to Belize, it would be something like this. New from Old Spice, Flint, Michigan. Just a little mercury wastewater scented aftershave lotion. Oh my God, you guys. I have a hard time making up my mind. You know, there's just too many things. I go to the shopping at the grocery store. There's just too many things. I can't choose. You know, they got just breakfast cereal. They market cereal to kids as CANDY. They market to adults as a guaranteed BM. 12% fiber, 25% fiber, 30. Just give me the highest percentage. My life's full of crap. I just want it to pass. Just want it to pass. They got a self-checkout. They got an express lane. I need an express yourself lane. That's what I need. That's the dumbest joke I've ever written. And I said it. If I'm feeling down, though, and I really need somebody to talk to, I just go to the grocery store and stand around for a while. It doesn't take long. Sir, may I help you? Oh, thank God. You know that story of Abraham and Isaac? Do you think there's a teleological suspension of the ethical, or is that contrary to Christian existentialism? Yeah. Assistant manager Derek doesn't know, so I found that out. You know, they had that self-checkout. I used to hate the self-checkout, but I've grown to love it because, you see, I can't haggle with people, but I can haggle with a machine. Yeah. I went there one night. Grapes were 65 cents a pound, and I bought 7 pounds of lamb chops for $4.55. If you laughed at that, you're a dishonest person. If you didn't laugh at that, then you're bad at math. Either way, we get along. I'm both. I'm right there with you. Oh my God. I'm at the store. Oh my gosh, they're shaping pet food in the shapes of the flavors that it is. Like your dog knows what a miniature T-bone steak looks like. It's just an animal, doesn't care. You're not going to convert my cat with little pink Christian symbols. It's common knowledge cats are agnostic. So some people are dog people, some people are cat people. I like them all, but I am more of a cat person. Because, well, only a cat can provide the kind of neglect and general disinterest that I'm used to in a companion. And I don't usually talk about relationships or women on stage. Well, you're right about what you know. What do I know? What did I tell you? I'm Irish, I'm Catholic, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love it. I love being Irish and Catholic. We have fun. We put the fun in funeral, as a matter of fact. Yeah. There's drinking, gambling, smoking, fighting, storytelling. It's awesome. It's a good time. We have fun. Have you ever been, maybe this is just an Irish Catholic thing, have you ever been to a funeral and everybody's talking about how good the body looks? Did you see him? He looks good. Did you see him? He looks good. They did a good job. They did a good job? Like the mortician has a chart in his office with gold stars across the top. You did a good job today, Joe, but last week's cremation was unsatisfactory. It looks so good. If you look so good, why isn't there a rigor mortis issue of GQ? Was that? Sorry. I'm a little bitter, I guess. Everybody's talking about how good the body looks, and I can't get a date. I'm bloated and smell weird. I own my own suit, and I can keep my mouth shut. I don't mind being on my back, and I can stay stiff for prolonged periods of time. I could keep telling tags of this joke until I run out of air. That was the last one. I'm not going to do it anymore. I was at less than a year ago, my great aunt Marilyn Redmond passed away. And it's okay. You know, we've grieved. But I was there, and I'm there in the line. You know the line, it's just the saddest buffet. You know, the flowers and the pictures and the people and the body and the just saddest buffet. And I'm in line, and I'm a comedian, so everywhere I go, I bring my notebook with me, and I'm taking notes. I can't help it, you know. There's this girl, she's eyeballing me from across the room, and it's like, wow, she's pretty, she's beautiful. Well, she's just making eye contact and smiling. I write about her and describe her in my book. I mean, she's got it wasn't really a dress, it was more like a full-body tourniquet. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was appropriate for a funeral. Midnight mass, maybe. Not a funeral. My stepdad's behind me. You're not writing jokes at a funeral. I told him, these aren't jokes, okay? This is material. It'll be funny later. And my mother pushes me aside because she's got to play the game of who sent which flower arrangement and keep score. You know what I mean? So they go, all the old women in my family do that. Oh, who sent these? Oh, Tim and Jennifer. Isn't that nice? They didn't have to do that. I guess it's the thought that counts. Oh, who sent these? The Connors. Oh, they didn't have to do that. That's beautiful. Let's see. Where's your Aunt Annie's flowers? You know, your rich aunt who couldn't bother to be here. Did she send any flowers? I'm like, Mom, settle down, okay? I get it. The Schlebeckers are beating the Redmonds 7-5, but the Redmonds are down a player. Give them a break. Everybody wants to talk to me. People I haven't seen in ages, and they just start conversations like we go way back. Still cooking at the hospital, huh? How's that going for you? Still cooking at the hospital, huh? How's that going for you? Still cooking at the hospital, huh? How's that going for you? I didn't have time to calculate what he said to me. I'm just like, I've never cooked in a hospital. I've never worked in a hospital. And he just said, yeah, how's that going for you? I just said yes. I don't know. Every conversation with a distant relative is like an improv game. Give me a location, give me a career, give me a location, give me a career. Try to avoid those people. And the morticians, they're weird too, man. Morticians are strange. I used to go to school in Rensselaer, Indiana. And in Rensselaer, right in the middle of town, the funeral home, owned by a family spelled Steinke on the sign. The Steinke Funeral Home. Have you been to the funeral home? Which funeral home? The Steinke Funeral Home. I think I've been to a few Steinke funeral homes. Steinke Funeral Home. You know what else? They also owned the only ambulance service in Jasper County at the time that I was there. So I guess if business was bad, business was good. I would never want to ride in one of those ambulances, though. It's not that an ambulance ride is expensive. I know that. It's just that I know how much a funeral costs, and I don't want the person who's going to cash in the most on my death in the driver's seat. What's that problem, Mr. Giles? Tachycardia? Nothing a little country air won't cure. I don't want my last memory to be some hillbilly putting a pillow over my face. Sorry about this, sir, but I really want that new iPhone. They're weird, man. I mentioned this earlier. Morticians have business cards. They got swag, man. They got stuff, free stuff. Business cards. You know what a business card's for? It's for, stirring up more business. So when a mortician gives you a business card, what they're saying is, I hope that someone you love is ripped from your life completely. And when that happens, you think of me. That's what that is. There are things you say and things you don't say to these people. Don't ask for the Wi-Fi password. Don't do it. But the polite thing is to take the card. I mean, I guess. What am I going to do with it? Put it in my wallet? Best case scenario is somebody I know loses someone and I can say, hey, don't worry. I got a guy. I know a guy. Here you go. Take it. Yeah, go ahead. Wi-Fi password's on the back. Yeah, go ahead. Funerals are so awkward. I got to avoid all the awkwardness by going down to the kitchenette where they keep the food. I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to a funeral, there's always deviled eggs. I'm not complaining. I love deviled eggs. I love them so much when I get a craving at home, I start reading obituaries. So, if you laughed at that, you're a dishonest person. And you're my kind of people. This is a true story. I'm down there packing away deviled eggs for the winter, and here comes the pretty girl. I realize I've misplaced my notebook. She found it. And I'm hoping she didn't read it. Especially after she introduces herself and tells me, oh, of course, she's my 18-year-old cousin. Of course. Gross, right? Yeah, I knew what. She was smiling and looking at me because I haven't changed in 10 years, but boy, she has, Still, there's nothing more awkward than when you're down there and you're packing away deviled eggs for the winter, and your cousin is there and your dead dad's in the next room. And I mean, what do you do in a situation like that? What could you possibly just... You got the paprika fingers and the... Well, he looks good. They did a good job. He looks good. They did a good job. I have a hard time relating to people. Especially around holidays, I mean, like when I was a kid, it was different. When I was a kid, I could expect on the morning of Easter to hunt for colored eggs, and I could expect on the morning after St. Patrick's Day to play a life-size game of Don't Wake Daddy. Thanksgiving, I could expect to see a turkey on the table. At Christmas, I could expect to see colored lights in the window. Those flashing red and blue squad car lights as they pull up to take Uncle Kevin to the North Pole for a little while. Valentine's Day was the worst, though, man. It was the worst because I was the only kid in the 4th grade, no candy or cards on his desk, But my teacher, Sister Inez, God bless her, she put her candy dish on my desk and said, help yourself. Thanks, sister, but no amount of Hall's Mentholyptus cough drops. On the brighter side, at least I could breathe through my nose while I cried myself to sleep that night. So, this is risky, and I'm doing it because I'm all about it. I'm going to leave you on wings of song. I'm going to sing in archipelago style. That's without music. This is an original. It's called the Bipolar Blues. I get the blues, the bipolar blues. They're the bluest of blues, but only half the time. I get the blues, so what can I do when life seems to have a reason, but appears to have no rhyme? Some days I wake up and I'm on cloud 9. You ask me how do I do, I'm dandy and fine. Life's daily chores, they come as easy as pie. Got my chin sticking up, but it won't be long till I get the blues, the bipolar blues. They're the bluest of blues, but only half the time. I get the blues. The what can I do's when life seems to have a reason, but appears to have no rhyme. Some days I wake up, don't want to get out of bed. Wished I never was born, wishing that I was deceased. all day long. Things just don't seem right. Could be a bright, warm day. Feels like a cold, dark night when you got the blues, the bipolar blues. They're the bluest of blues. Listen, hey, when life gives you lemons, you know what I do? I squeeze the lemon juice out of the lemons, I put it in a cup, and I give it to somebody, and I'm like, here, try this fresh squeezed lemonade I just made. I look at that sourpuss pucker lip expression on their face, and I just laugh. The laughter's the best medicine, especially when you got the blues, the bipolar blues. Listen up, little brother, I've been in those shoes. No matter which path you take, no matter which way you choose, keep on keeping on, and you will never lose against the up and down, manic depressive, clinically diagnosed with anger management issues, medicated or unmedicated, low down dirty, bipolar blue. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
That angel was Stephen Giles, and I am the asshole that mispronounced his name more than once. And I am super sorry. Okay, can I tell you guys a little joke? And it's, I'm kind of an asshole, as I demonstrated. Something that's kind of been in my head for a while. Let's say if a chick takes like a load to the mouth, stay with me, like a whole brick to the face, whilst preggers, does the baby get all that extra protein? Like, seriously, that baby's getting more protein than I ever could be offered at a juice bar. So I'm looking forward to seeing the most muscular infant bust out of cervix. You know what's gonna happen. He's not gonna be able to throwing hands like at the midwife or the OBGYN. I don't know her, preferences. It was whatever. But that's gonna be serious. He's gonna be throwing hands like Chuck Norris. All right. Up next, our next performer is one of the wisest, stoniest wizards I've ever encountered and always gives me tons of it. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jerry Goebel.
Give it up for Tenna. She wasn't lying about the last bit, about something coming through her head. I think that's very important to note. And, the money shot joke. Outside, it's snowing. Snowing. I was out. I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little sick. I'm wearing my jacket still. Because, thought maybe hell was freezing over. That maybe Pence was going to quit doing all the shit he's been pulling. That maybe he'd resign, maybe shoot himself in the face. Lenny Bruce versus United States. Stand-up comedy, freedom of speech. Eat a dick, Mr. Mike Pence. Yeah, excuse me, I'm out of sorts. I'm a little sick. Does it sound sick? I sound sick. I feel sick. Right now I'm speedballing ephedrine because it's the legal drug Eli Lilly lets us have. It's really nice to be able to get that because I was visiting my dealer at the gas station and he's like, "Oh, ephedrine, man, you need to fill out this forms of this paperwork and take a sample and for what they basically used to give me as a kid, for free. You get a whole 24-pack and you could be tweaked for a week, but not now. No. Eli Lilly's being responsible with their drug dealing. Yeah." Body piles up all around Indiana. Death Camp, Indiana. You know why I'm wearing my old jacket from Menards? Because I like to wear the skins of my oppressors. This is just like a parting salvo in the whole thing of the fuck you Indiana process that I've been instituting here as part of this show. Now, if you're watching the show, you're probably pretty cool, but please show it to a friend who needs it. Seriously, he's probably sitting right next to you. Probably Thanksgiving. My whole family. Get the fucking picture, people. You're prison. You're in a prison state, for-profit prison. Oh my God. You know what? If I get caught with too much ephedrine for a third time, I get a mandatory minimum sentence, and then I'll get a real job. All the sweatshop labor that they brought in from Mexico and overseas for those poor fucking kids. We're finally rehabilitating the whole process now. And now we have our own prison sweatshop system. It's amazing. It's very great to have that kind of, forethinking. You know, it's nice to know when you put businessman in charge of capitalism that they just totally fuck everybody over and still turn a profit and think really, you know, they're real happy with it. It's great. It's amazing. That's why I love Bernie Sanders. And again, another propaganda point. Just doing the propaganda. I bring funny people here to do this, and I'm gonna fucking mouth off about shit that I think needs to be said. Bernie Sanders, vote him. Do it. Let's do it. He's the 2% with honest. You know what I mean? Morals, integrity, whatever. You know, I got in an argument with a friend of mine, and this is just what's so stupid about it. If you're only looking at part of a picture and not the whole puzzle, you don't know what the fuck you're putting in the position. Right? Pence got elected, and he had a radio show. People knew what he said before he got there. I want to know which one of you cunts voted for him. Internet. Who voted for Mike Pence? Who got him into office? Who's really responsible for not fucking doing their job? That's what I want to know. Was it me? I mean, I voted for Obama last time, not because I wanted to. I just didn't want to look at that fucking frat boy for 4 years. I did not want that. Fucking douchebag frat boys. Why is it always the douchebag frat boy they prop up anymore? Your Paul Walkers. Really? They're just douchebag frat boys. Fuck these assholes. They don't know anything about management. They send it all overseas. That's an easy fix. Horse shit. Menards. I feel bad. Old Uncle Ray's been dead for years. You guys remember Old Uncle Ray at Menards? Yeah. I was always bothered by his commercials. He reminded me like an extra from a pedophile relocation program. It's really what it was. Everyday low savings at Menards. While you're at it, why don't you come over here and let Old Uncle Ray touch your pee-pee. Come on. Bring it. Can you feel it, John? Can you feel it, John and Larry? Oh, yeah. Milk it. So, it's getting hot. I know. You know, it really is a comedy as much as it is symbolic, shamanistic self-destruction at the end of the night. Right? I'm speedballing ephedrine right now. My sinuses are getting smaller. I got big balls of snot falling around in my head. I'm like a maraca upside right now. Da, 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 da. And we're gonna start doing some Rage Against the Machine. Da, 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 da. Are you mad, Jerry? Yeah, I'm mad about everything, man. Fucking everything in Indiana is just fucked. Fucked. Underground railroad of marijuana, man. You gotta fucking smuggle it into this fucking state to save people, you know. And then when they get it, you give them life sentences, which is ironic because they're still gonna die, you know. Oh, Indiana. Oh. Did I bring that on stage? Oh my goodness. Actually, this is a campaign slogan, Mr. Mike Pence. This is the Mr. Mike Pence Golden Triangle. You had history, Mr. Pence? No, you don't, because you don't back education, you fucktard. A, B, C, or D, all of the above. Eat a dick. Okay, so here's how it works. The Golden Triangle of Indiana politics. For those on the radio, this is a wire coat hanger. Let's just fucking go there and do that. Just say it. It's the prop of Indiana right now. This is really the most telling thing about this state right now, not just its rampant homophobia and its fucking confusing attitudes towards country music. Dude, you got these semi-gay dudes doing their I'm a cowboy. I don't know, but I want to go find a tranny in a bathroom. I live in Indiana. Come on, let's do it. The Golden Triangle, ladies and gentlemen. See, in one corner, you have the religious right of Indiana that's basically trying to make everybody do what they want. And then you've got your conservative douchebags that thinks everybody else owes them some shit because huge corporate problem here. No ethics anymore, business people. None. And at the very top of the triangle is the guy that they use, Mike Pence. And that's why it's curved, because we're hanging this on your fucking neck, Mike. Like you're albatross. We're gonna do the Rhyme of the Ancient Asshole. It'll be a long 15-minute Iron Maiden cut. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. You guys don't fucking know that. Right? You'd had to have heard it through an Iron Maiden song. Because this is Indiana educational system. You can't fit a story in a dot, can you? Fuck dicks. Hey everybody, welcome to Indiana. You got a kid you need to get rid of? You better go next state. Is that coming through? We were going to do a Mummenschanz thing with wire coat hangers. I thought that was kind of we get a couple toilet paper rolls and I'll hang it on my lip. progressive art. That must be liberals. They're fucking idiots. Cave paintings were art. Those guys weren't liberal. They ate each other. They didn't give a fuck. Incidentally, that's currently the Republican Party in Indiana. But whatever. Eating everybody. So how do you guys feel about prison? You guys like it? Must be great. I know, I'm probably going to go there. I'm just putting this down. This is my last will and testament on video. Because this was going to happen. I'm going to call out fucking douchebag for being a douchebag. And he's still going to be a douchebag. Let's face it. It's Mike Pence, Everything he's doing now is just straight up fucking, robber baron shit. I mean, he's just looting it. All of his buddies are getting the hookup. And then it's like, oh, we're all upset. No. But you know what? This fucking state's been doing this since 1985. I've been here since 1980. I was only aware of it since 1985. And honestly, this is not a new thing. Getting kind of sick of it. 85, you had Dungeons and Dragons by Focus in the Family. Come back to 2015, you have Focus on the Family on homosexuals. Same group petitioning, protesting. And they were wrong on both counts. Devil worshipping is what you got when you were playing Dungeons and Dragons. If anything, Dungeons and Dragons helped me get the atheism thing started. It really did, because then you start realizing how easy it is to lie about whatever God you got. You can just make it up as you fucking go. I want to start the official Rick James religion. We're just going to start out with do a 6-foot bump right at the front part of the show. And then we'll go out and punch random strangers and say hallelujah. And that'll be the whole religion. But as long as I can tell you it's something useful, man, you'll buy it. That's why what pisses me off about this whole religion, the Canitarian thing. A lot of people are like, oh, well, shit, and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Fuck you. Just fuck you. I'll tell you again. Like Bruce First United States. Eat a dick. There is something to it. There's something to it. And fuck, if they bring Rastafarians into this particular part of it, I'm gonna have a fucking cow. I'm sick of fucking Rastafarianism and Bob Marley songs. Let's quit with the Bob Marley for Canitarians, okay? Because to me what it says, this is back when music was safe, right? Because now I'm cool and I know what's going on. Listen, it's Bob Marley playing Three Little Birds again! Again! Oh, but they're stoners. We got better taste in music than most people. Why is it always the same old fucking groups? Because Bob Marley's family are fucking marketing geniuses. That's fucking why. If Bob Marley had known he was going to be a can of soda, the Babylon Cola, right, whatever. You're going to be drinking it here. It's fucking well for sure. Just something different, man. I don't even know where I was going. All I know is I saw Bob Marley and I just totally diverted because I'm sick of negative pot stereotypes. All right. Yeah. And it's okay. As a comic, I like to watch guys who don't smoke weed do comedy jokes about marijuana. It's hysterical because he's so fucking never right. You'd be surprised why you'll hide a fucking joint. Seriously. All I know is I have a rectal cavity thing right now, but just doing a little train spotting. That's right. I got big plans. I'm going to go out to, there's a bunch of Bible Baptists that are going to sell me some spice later. Going to get that religion together. The legitimate business selling intentional poison. Oh boy, geez, nobody fucking even went for that in this town. No questions. The Indiana Bible Baptist College, was that as a Baptist Bible College? I don't know, there's a lot of, I don't know. It seems to me the more words you got to put in your fucking religion, chances are you're hiding something. Somewhere in chapter 6 of the Panama Papers, there you are. The first incorporated secondary version of the Church of the First Fifth. Yeah, whatever, man. Fuck you. Everybody knows the Vatican's been doing it since the beginning. That's why I like the Pentagon Papers. They're gonna bust that shit wide open. And you find out that these guys are all in bed together, and we've all been getting fucked by that. That Illuminati that they kept trying to discontinue and tell everybody you were fucking nuts for believing. They weren't magical space aliens. It was just a bunch of asshole corporate dudes covering their asses for money. That's all. It wasn't really all that cool as an Illuminati. It was just a bunch of fucking average douchebags playing paperwork games that, frankly, paperwork doesn't stop bullets. Just saying. Just saying. Not inciting a revolution, Lenny Bruce versus United States. But as the premise for the joke, you would say, okay, my buddy in the Army got mad at me. The whole Bernie Sanders thing, I'll give me a cue to go back to that later. But, because there's nothing here. I gotta go with it. I can't remember what I was talking about. Bernie Sanders was, okay, my friend was talking about Bernie Sanders in the sense of that Bernie Sanders supported a war, that he funded it. I posted a picture of Bernie Sanders arguing to an empty room. I remember when the war happened, I remember he was the only guy there talking. And they took pictures of that. And to me, that's a sense of character. Because the guy stood up in front of everybody and told them, you're wrong. And that's what you need, right? All right, so this is how the twist is. This is how the argument twists on that. He didn't want the war, but he funded it. He voted for them to have money for their war, which is just as bad. No, that's stupid as fuck. Because if you like the people you're sending to war, you're giving them money so they come back alive. That's the moral thing to do. Once you're fucked into the war, you have a moral obligation to give those motherfuckers money to get the stuff. And they didn't even have it then. I don't know if you guys remember the whole we don't have any armor on our vehicles thing happening there. You know, they were too busy spending it on bulletproofing for Dick Cheney's friends, you know, because he was going to do a lot of duck hunting. Yeah. So they were fucked from the get-go on that. So the Bernie Sanders thing is just a question of twisting whatever happened in the big picture to something fucking stupid. To just something that makes no sense at all. You know, I got a guy talking to me about this Illuminati years ago, got me thinking about this whole conspiracy theory, because really, what is a conspiracy? It doesn't have to be aliens, it just has to be collusion. That's all it is. And if you find a way to collude it and fuck people out of money, and you do it as a business, somehow these guys feel entitled to that. It's bullshit. It's all fucking games. If I get a subchapter S corporation, I can get a tax deduction for starting jobs in prison. $100,000. Tax deduction I get to encourage populations of prisons to grow. In this state, Indiana, where we're all just kind of sitting around, you know, just kind of waiting for Kenny Chesney to take his shirt off again. And unbelievable. The Illuminati never existed. They was just bankers all along. Because honestly, it's a token economy. That's what really kind of confuses me about the whole thing. See, I'm not interested in the money. He was after me about redistribution of wealth, and I think that's bullshit. Because for me, redistribution of wealth, and here's where the joke was, is you go to the 2% and you make them give their money back. And they go, well, they'll never give it back. The one who's saying that, you know, you just don't smoke them. Lenny Bruce versus United States. Not saying assassinate them straight up, but just let me say, if there was a parallel easy factor of getting rid of the problem, millions of people at the bottom who just want to, you know, they want to survive, but they're all turning into assholes because the money's getting tight, and now we're fucking eating each other, right? It's like, you know, it's really the Walking Dead Indiana. That's kind of what we're with right now. You know, all the dead people are sitting in their little churches in their pews pretending that the cure for cancer isn't around. Patricia Miller told me it's not there, so I believe her. Indiana, fucking death state, and I'm rambling again because it's the ephedrine, it's the speedball kicking in. It's a Kerouac effect. It's the Kerouac effect. Oh my God, you Republicans, you're in trouble because I'm going to start streaming liberalisms. Haha, but there's a secret. I'm an anarchist. I'm not on a money burn. This is revenge trip. I'm getting even. I don't give a fuck. Everybody's like, oh, your career, you're going to suffer your career. You're going to First Church of Cannabis. They're not a real religion. Yes, they fucking are. Because you know what cannabis is? Cannabis is the lube to God. Yeah, you want to get in the same head, you got to get on the playing surface, man. Get out of your own fucking head. This bullshit token economy, the money, really? They print more money and there's more money, and everybody goes, oh, it's so hard to come up with money. It's like they just print more. It's like a Monopoly game gone wild, and we don't realize we're still playing it. It's bullshit. What do you really need? Nobody ever asked that. What do you really need? You got a house? You got a place to stay? You got some place to water? You got food? You probably got enough for now. But at the expense of other people, come on, look at Donald Trump's lifestyle. That motherfucker, casinos, gold, everything. What is it about Rush Limbaugh and gold gilded shit inside of his houses? What is that? If that isn't a closet French Revolution homosexual thing for him, I don't know what is. Because it looks like he's waiting to dress up like Marie Antoinette and have some cake. You know, Hillary, you know. And the irony is I would almost partner up with this fucking fat piece of shit to go after Hillary Clinton because she's fucking horrible. She's absolutely cool with being a Bilderberg or Build-A-Bear. I don't know how many businesses they own. But she'll take the money and she'll do it and she'll flip-flop. And the $15 an hour thing she's taking credit for now, Amazing. And you know what? The average fucking dipshit in this state will still be staring at Kenny Chesney. She gets wet when she sees drone strikes. You see her pictures with the Osama bin Laden in the crisis room, and she's like, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's always like she was watching Bill get assassinated, you know? That's why he's behaving. Shit, she's gonna be in charge of the CIA soon. Fuck. They covered up Kennedy and they liked his ass, you know? So I'm channeling my, I ate a big bowl of Bill Hicks this morning. And, it's full of self-righteousness. I love that. Yum, yum. And there it goes. The parasite that's been controlling my actions all day. Well, Pinky, it looks like we lost that one. Okay. Man, the probe's gone. Yeah. So here's a metaphor for weed. Unfortunately, it's lost on youth, which is typical. Because you know everything. Model train sats. Most of you guys don't remember them. They're fading into non-existence, and I'm looking for an alternate story to give you. But this is basically my best estimation of what weed is. Cannabis oil. With a regular train track, say you got it for Christmas, it's in a styrofoam box, you set the fucker up, you run the tracks, you put the thing on, you plug it in, and it don't go. And of course, instantly, you hate Jesus. You know, because that guy didn't bring me the right present, you know, ding. And so then you go, what do I got to do? Well, and they're like, okay, the solution is very simple. It's because the connections aren't made. So you have to get a little eraser, and you run the eraser around the tracks, and then you put the train on it, and the connection's made, and it runs smooth. It runs fine. And that's what cannabis oil is. Cannabis oil is the eraser. You are the train. Life is the track. Pretty simple, right? Yeah. Until you find out you don't know what the fuck your model train set is. And then you're like, oh, what are you speaking about, crazy man? What is this? Is this an app? Do I have an app for toy trains? Look, look, it's going in a circle. No, that's just the reload bar. That's just reloading. That's not a train. It's not one wheel. That's just telling you they're updating again for the 50 fucking millionth time for something they didn't bother to finish the first fucking time. Which I love that, internet. Can we have a minute? Okay. You and your fucking apps, the shit's got to stop, okay? Apps is lazy programming. Lazy. Fucking lazy. If you got to update me 5, 6, 7 times in a given week, you're either the super shitty programmer or you're a shifty motherfucker selling my information. Right? I know where you live. Lenny Bruce versus United States. Until they file a restraining order, it's not actually, still a joke. I'm all for violence and comedy. I live in Indiana. Laugh at the pain, man. Laugh at the pain. I wish someone had something to play it with here. Could we play some Bob Marley on it? Don't worry about your kid. Ding, ding. Because he's going to have no brain and going to stay alive. Ding, 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 ding. Don't worry. Ding, 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 ding. It's almost dinner time. Ding, 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 ding. We'll put your feeding tube in and you'll be just fine. Ding, 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 ding.
Wow, Jared, that's very positive of you to think a nice attitude towards the whole idea that you're sending women back into the 1900s.
Well, yeah, I'm a great person. I'd like to thank my sponsors. Mike Pence. Coming for you, you bitch. Good night.
Sherry Goebel, everybody. This has been the Comedy Grinder. I hope you had a wonderful evening. Good night.